Return to Mysterious Island 2. The second game in this series. The second game sort of takes place where the first game leaves off. Mina is about to be rescued. Unfortunately, her actions have set in motion a disaster. It seems that the planet is going to go kerblooey to start off. And so, it's now up to Mina and Jep to stop this impending disaster. But it's a lot worse. See, not only is it appear that the island's going to go kerblooey, but now there's something else affecting life on the island. So, we start the game off, literally, the plane crashes, and so, it's all a matter of time of helping Mina escaping the crashed plane, or helicopter. Which introduces a neat little aspect for this one. There are certain portions of this game in which you have to play as the monkey Jep. So, of course, Jep must first help Mina escape, get her back to health, as well as tend to any wounds that she has. Now, of course, like the first game, part of this is also linked to survival and making what you need. However, it's a little different because now you have other things to take into account. And there are a little bit more extra in the puzzle department, as well as some action elements. Now, of course, it starts off, of course, trying to help heal Mina, and we have to deal with other threats that are on the island. I mean, some are only hinted at in the first game. Of course, once we are able to get away from a jaguar, we are allowed to continue. We get word from one of the robots that Nemo had developed of what is causing this problem, that we have to get to a cave that is farther inland. So we have to work our way inland. Of course, we're also dealing with other problems. In order to get to the area we need to get to, we must cross a muddy river. Of course, we have to do that as Jep first, so that he can help Mina get across. Because due to the wound on her leg, she cannot necessarily risk getting mud in it. That would make things worse. Of course, over on that side, we find some more things that were used to help set up life on the island, or set people so they could live on the island, like a sawmill and probably a distillery or something like that, or a desalination area. And of course, we also find one of the other monkeys on the island causing, trying to steal from us, which means we're going to have to, quote, reclaim that stuff at some point. Of course, we have to find our way inland, and to do that, we have to get past some problems. We're going to have to find where our path is, using some tools that that we may have to do a little bit of extra crafting on, as well as taking note of some markers on the island that say, give us some tips on elevation. We also have to find our way into the place, which is going to be tricky because in part it involves getting materials to show where the place is located, as well as open paths up. Of course, once we're able to find that path and open it up, we discover a new problem. Seems the area is being used by the monkeys. And to make matters worse, some of them are not too thrilled to see you. In fact, you're going to have to, one, figure a way to basically change the power structure. So it's up to Jep again. We have to find certain monkeys at certain locations, figure out what they need to get them on our side. I mean, you got a total of 5 monkeys, so you have to sort of switch the opinions on at least on 3 of them, and then even fend off certain others. Of course, as you continue, you have to. Some are easier than others. I mean, one's an artist, so you sort of got to, play to that one's vanity on that one. Even help it paint and hint at that Mina's a good person. One's child is stuck in a dangerous place, so you got to help the child escape. You got another one who is sort of forced to be a bit of a mate for one of the more aggressive of the group. So, of course, you have to sort of fend that one off and help that one, even giving her something she might like. And of course, once that is done, you can get into the workings of the island, or that powers the force field and other things. But during all this time, something else is happening. Something is happening to the plants on the island. Looks like they're getting sick. Now, there is a preventative measure. The problem is, it's not prepared to have a long lasting effect. You see, well, when you discover this, it's discovering this that's really adds to the tragicness of it. See, once you get down into that area underneath, you find out that Nemo had been doing some testing on for certain things. Because he knows that this problem was already happening when he got there. And of course, you also have to do what you can to, save the. I mean, once you first are able to find a way to shut down the things that are going to make the volcano go boom again, which means also beating one of the more aggressive monkeys. Well, you start discovering some things. First of all, this underground facility has a record, sort of like a mental recordings or something, of people who have been on the island. Even anyone who goes into the facility has to leave an imprint. And this big brute of a monkey sort of dies after you get him out of the machinery so you can restart the machinery. And then Jep falls ill. So you're going to have to get some things together and figure out what's going on with Jep. Also, you wonder about this mist because that's going out over the island because from appearance sake it looks dangerous. In fact, Mina thought this was part of the problem. Once we get into the lab and are able to do a test on Jep's blood, an antibody, we discover what's going on. You see, this island had been isolated for a long time. And in fact, microbes that even us as humans are used to, nothing on this island is ready for it. The mist is actually helping keep these things alive. But it can only do it for so long. The only way to fully save life on the island is to reestablish the shield, keeping everything isolated. This is what leads to a very tough decision to make. Mina could choose to put the shield back up, thus saving life on the island. Or she could leave the shield off in hopes of escape, of being rescued. only one choice is going to save Jep. This is about the hardest decision to make in this game. And it only changes one thing. See, if you choose to, regardless if you choose to turn the shield back on or not, well, if you turn the shield back on, Jep will survive. He'll get better. But you are doomed to never leave the island. In fact, as the second rescue copter comes around to find you, they will not be able to find the island. But if you leave the shield down, the mist that is helping protect and fend off the problem that's going to kill everything on this island, save Mina. Well, when the second helicopter comes to check things out, they see all that mist and they don't know what it is. And so they break off the rescue attempt. Mina doesn't leave the island. Jep dies. Either one ends with Mina still stuck on the island. Makes for a bittersweet ending, regardless. Now, of course, this game did have a good deal of pluses. I mean, some of the quote arcade sections are extremely tough, but they are doable, and there's even something that allows the game to play them for you. It is very clever with the survival aspects, as using what is available to you to make what you need, and giving you other things that you might need to advance in the game. Of course, there are certain things that could, eliminate you from gameplay. And of course, it backs up so you could figure out what you did wrong and how to correct it. The puzzles are on the clever side and allows you to think things through. And there are some, quote, limitations of things you can do. Overall, aside from that bittersweet ending towards the end, it's a pretty good game. And it sort of ends the story of what could happen on this island unless someone else somehow would arrive on the island. It's a fun game. It has a sad ending. But it does show a point of the dangers of us, appearing to an untouched island. Of course, I can talk a little bit more about that when I discuss these games as a whole. But it's definitely a It's a good way to wrap up at least one story about the of someone who ended up on this island. And that's all I'm really going to say about this one. I mean, other than the fact that it came out in 2009. But I hope you enjoyed what I had to say about this one. I know this is on the short side, and there is no way I can stretch this one out any longer. But next time I talk about this franchise, it's as a whole. Until then, check out the videos. Hope you like me talking about this game. And until next time, take care all and have fun. Bye.